Before this video starts, I just want to say there's going to be a big announcement at the end of this video, so stay tuned or just skip to this timestamp on screen to see that announcement. Thank you, and let's start the video. What's up guys, it's me Thermal, and I'm here today with Doors in Minecraft Devlog 7. Now today's going to be a little different because there's a lot of features in the past few devlogs that I've skipped talking about because I didn't have enough time to cover them. For example, Devlog 5, which was 3 months ago or something, had a lot of features that I had to cut from the video just because it would take too long to explain them. I try to keep my videos under 20 minutes. I try. Usually they exceed 20 minutes, which has become a problem recently. And because of that, I've had to cut a lot of features from the videos. With that being said, this devlog today is going over some very small new stuff and also go over everything that I have missed from the past few devlogs or /cut from the videos. So without further ado, without wasting time, let's get started. First, let's talk about the retextures. There's not a whole lot here, which again is because I've barely added anything new. All the stuff that I forgot to cover was mechanics and not new blocks because I always cover those. So anyways, so for the first one that I've retextured is the pale protrusion. Now last video it was actually a little bigger than this and it kind of looked weird in certain situations. Even now it kind of looks a little odd, but I tried to shorten it to make it look less weird. It still looks a little odd, but I don't know. I might fix that, might not. I don't know. I'm kind of a little too lazy to try. Next is this. So this is a track block. Now it's a retextured version of the glazed terracotta. However, I've renamed them both to track blocks. Now the reason why is because Ambuscade and Ambulate use this as their way of, this is basically their pathing system. So if they're 8 blocks up here, they'll go on this track. This one, though, is for a specific modifier, and I'll talk about it later. Next up is the light. Now, the old light texture looked like this, and I mean, yeah, it was an off light, but it just kind of looked weird. Basically, what I was kind of trying to do with this light is make it a mix of a light that is off and a light that is broken. That doesn't really work, and also it kind of limited me a little bit, so I have changed that. This is now an actually off block, and as you can see over here for the new blocks, this is the broken light. So yeah, it's just a light that is broken. Now the reason why I've differentiated the two is because this one can be turned on and this one can't. Now, last but not least is the fan block, which is decor for this vent section. Now, before this was like a placeholder block, and it was always going to change to this. I just was too lazy to make the texture for it, but it is here now. Let's talk about the new mechanics, and first, let's talk about entities. I have added one thing since last video that is entity related. However, it's not big, it's more of just a feature that is not fully coded yet, and that is this. So it's just a husk spawn egg, as you can see. I haven't even renamed it yet. That's how you know this is very early. Basically, in every Doors related game, the multi-monster or A60 I feel is a part of their game. So if you don't know, in Rooms, which is what every Doors game is based off of, Rooms has a monster called A60, and the multi-monster, whatever you want to call him. He's in Rooms, and he's almost in every single Doors Rooms type game, which includes Doors. He's in there. Rooms and Doors, which makes sense. Pressure, and that's kind of it, but you get my point. It's in most of the big games. I've decided that I should probably do the same thing. So I have done his model, and he looks like this. As you could see, it's just the husk texture as a PNG image, which is just kind of how, A60 is. But I do have the textures made. I do have all the textures made, and I'm going to have it cycle through multiple ones, how it does in Rooms. But I just haven't coded that yet because it kind of takes a while. But yeah, his model is done and his textures are done. I just need to code it and stuff. So there's a section of the game that I don't really talk about, and that is door 99. Now, door 99 is going to be way different from original Doors. It's going to have 3 different sections. And those 3 different sections have items that you need to find to unlock the next door. Now, of these 3 sections, there's one part where you have to go into a massive Dreadmite nest. And in that nest is just a bunch of Dreadmites, obviously. But there wasn't really like a big threat there, because with the other sections, there's like the creakings, which is already like a threat on its own, and then the other one was like a back doors section, which is like, it's the back doors. But then the last one was just like Dreadmites, and it didn't really feel, I don't know, big enough. So I've decided that I'm going to add a Dreadmite King, who's going to like summon more Dreadmites. Now it's going to use the Endermite texture, or I'm going to remodel the Endermite for that, which is why it is here. Again, it's just a concept right now. I haven't even like added it. I just came up with that like yesterday, so bear with me, guys. But yeah, that's what I have to say for that. Speaking of Dreadmites, let's talk about the Dreadmite Mechanics. This is one of the first things that I like have not talked about. Like, this was literally in the trailer video. I just like didn't mention it ever. Like, it existed since Devlog 5, and I forgot about it in Devlog 6, so now I am here to actually finally cover it. So, the Dreadmites are pretty easy to explain. I think I've mentioned them before. When you walk into a room, it's going to be dark, and there's going to be these cracks in the wall that you'll see over here. Now, if you sit in the room for too long, well, as you probably know, the Dreadmites will spawn. The Dreadmites have spawned. Yep, there they are. And they are trying to get me. They are trying to get me. And there's quite a few of them. Now, the ways to avoid them is by leaving the room, and they'll all die horrible deaths. Or alternatively, I can use this lever and turn on the lights. Yep. And the lights will turn on, and they can't spawn anymore. You can also just turn on the lights beforehand and they still won't spawn, so that's pretty useful. Now, in terms of mechanics for entities, there is one final one that I would like to cover, and that is Stoplight. Now, I'm actually a little glad I didn't mention Stoplight up until now, because there's been kind of one glooming problem with Stoplight. There was a weird bug that the green light just would refuse to work and was really buggy and would keep damaging you even though you were moving. It was really weird, and I don't know why it did that. But it is fixed now, so it's fine. But before I show you that, I do want to show you one thing. So this is the Stoplight Eye. As you can see, it's just an Elder Guardian. But in door 100, there'll be a massive room that you need to find a key in, and this guy will be staring at you and shooting lasers at you. Oh yeah, he also glows. Yeah, he looks cool. Now let's talk about the actual Stoplight, the one that you'll actually encounter throughout your runs. Now, this one's pretty simple to explain. Basically, you just gotta follow the rules laid out for you, which are right here. As you can see, green means you need to walk, yellow means you need to sneak, and red means stop. As you can see, this nice door has opened up for me. How nice, That's so friendly. Would this plane shut up? But as you can see, the door has opened for me, and this room is very big. It's actually 2 times bigger than I think the last time you saw it, which is kind of literal because I duplicated the room and doubled its size. But yes, this is the room now, and if I walk in, the door will close on me. There is music that's supposed to start here, but currently it is copyrighted, so I can't play it. Isn't that so cool? Yeah, it's great. Anyways, so green means I need to walk, and as you can see, I will walk, and if I don't walk, I'll start taking damage. Now yellow means sneak, so I'll start sneaking. As you can see, I won't take damage, but if I unsneak, I will take damage, and that is bad. Don't do that, guys. Now, once I do, make this room, there probably will be stuff in these containers, but for now, there's nothing. As you can see, when the lights turn off, you can walk around fine, and red means stop. Don't move. And if I do, I start taking damage, so maybe don't, but for your sake, I will die. As you can see, I got a nice custom stop message. Woohoo! Now, currently, I don't have a way for you to, leave. I haven't coded that, but it will probably do the same thing as this door, but just over there. Now, let's talk about modifiers. I have coded a few. While there is a lot listed here, there are some that are just here, but I just haven't coded them yet. So I'll just cover the ones that I actually have covered. But I do want to mention something about modifiers that is going to be a little different from your normal doors experience. So I have decided that certain modifiers will have tiers. Basically, they'll have tier 1, which is the base one, and then tier 2, which means it'll be harder, tier 3, which is even harder, and tier 4, which is the hardest level it can be on. Now, only certain modifiers will have this setting. Some will only have 2, some will have 1, and some will have 4. And And as you can see over here, there are a few examples. Now there's more modifiers in this, I just haven't like placed them / coded them yet, but they are here. And the first one we'll talk about is Black Plague. Now this one I tried to code, but it's there's nothing in here right now. But basically what this one's gonna do, instead of Plague just like kind of sitting there as she normally does, she'll actually fly towards you. And the way I'm gonna try to do that is summon a bat at your feet, and she'll just try to follow that, which in turn is following you, meaning it's going to ruin your life. It will suck. It will suck. Next up is Mitosis. I actually really like this one. So if I give myself the tag Mitosis and summon a Dreadmite real quick, it will actually start splitting in two. And they will keep doing that. Basically, it's just supposed to make this suck. Dreadmites are going to be horrible. And they'll just be like more and more in them. If I go into adventure mode, there's like so many. And then there's more. And then there's more. This is gonna lag your game like horribly. This will be horrible. Yeah. So maybe don't turn this one on. But yeah, that's Mitosis. So this one's pretty easy to explain. This one has to do with the Lookman and how he works. In Tier 1, the Lookman's approaching speed will be faster, and his attack will be stronger than normal. Tier 2, however, he just gets a little faster in his approaching speed. Tier 3, he'll just get stronger again. Tier 4 is horrible. He'll be even stronger than before. His approaching state will be even faster, and his running will be even faster. So, yeah, isn't that nice? Isn't that so friendly? Now, next one is this. I haven't coded it yet, but this does have to do with Ambulate and actually Ambuscade as well. So this is going to make them both faster, and of course, the more tiers, the faster they will be. Now, let's talk about the Ultralates. This is something I teased last video, but didn't really, cover, because I didn't have time. But I did try to in the video, but it didn't work out. So anyways, let's talk about it. So the only two I've actually, fully coded is Null and Greed, and they're pretty easy to explain. So if I get Ambulate here and spawn him in, ignore how he has a shovel. I don't know what's up with that. But, let's do Null first. So as you can see, he now has this Null mask, and really all this does is just give him a cool death effect. I do plan to make his radius bigger so he actually, does something. But currently this is all he does. If I get close to him, and he gets close to me, I will get pulled in and die. How crazy, isn't that so cool? Yeah, that's kind of all he does right now. Next up though is Greed. As you can see, I have the coins counter on the right, and this is for good reason. So basically, Greed is going to be way quicker than normal Ambulate, and will probably be about the same speed as Ambuscade. Now the reason for this is because all he does is he doesn't damage you at all, and he just steals your money. He'll slowly drain your bank account. Isn't that so friendly of him? Isn't that so nice? Yeah, how nice of him. Isn't that great? Ow. Frostbite is going to be a little different. I do have a plan for him. I just kind of immediately forgot. I have it sent to myself though, so yep. Next up is Fork in the Road. Now this one is fully coded, and how this one works is pretty interesting. Now, if you have a keen eye, you may notice that track block I was mentioning earlier actually has the acronyms of that modifier. So, Fork in the Road. Wow, crazy. And if you look over here, as you can see, it is also here. Now, what does it do exactly? Great question. Basically, all it does is that Ambuscade, and only Ambuscade, will now take a different route when going down certain rooms. So instead of just going in a straight path, he'll actually check side rooms, meaning you can't really stay out of his sight and you need to be in a closet. That's kind of all that does. Next one is Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith is pretty interesting because instead of hitting the wooden golem as many times as you want, you can only hit him once before he dies immediately. It just requires you to have a perfect shot at the wooden golem at all times and to make sure you can actually get across perfectly. Next is No Mistakes. This makes dupe instant kill you. Wow, how friendly of him. This one is Heartless, which has to do with the creaking, and it's actually pretty cool. So this first one, it's not here. I haven't coded it yet. Whoops. Okay. Alright, so the changes that this one makes are pretty simple. Tier 1 makes the Creaking's movement speed increase, and Eye Blossoms, the little flowers, will do damage if you stand on them. Tier 2 increases the Creaking's movement speed again. This one also changes the movement speed again, and Eye Blossoms actually do more damage. And Tier 4, you probably just shouldn't look away from the Creaking at all, because he will get you. Hi, Future Thermal here. I forgot to mention one thing. I fixed the Dreadmite's animation, so they're like way slower now. This is what they looked like before, this is what they look like now. Wow, crazy. They're just a little slower because I thought they moved too fast, so yeah. That's what they look like now. Wow, crazy. There's so many. Oh, hi. So that's all for this video. Yes, it was like way shorter than all my other ones, but that was kind of the point. I don't like making long 20-minute videos to post because I feel like they don't get many views, and it kind of just isn't great for audience retention because I don't think most of y'all want to watch a 20-minute video of me yapping about new features, and frankly I'd like it to just not be that long and boring. So yeah, work on this project might actually increase when school starts because I'll be bored out of my mind and start just making stuff for this instead of like doing my work. That's just how I am, so I will probably end up doing that. So expect more stuff, maybe. Devlogs might be still harder to make though, so I don't know. We'll see. But for now, my goals stay almost exactly the same as last time since I didn't really change very much. My plans is to make that hide shirt. I keep mentioning it. I will change it, guys, I swear. I swear, guys. Please believe me. And I do also want to make some more modifiers and add the sounds for Plague. And actually, I haven't finished the hoax stuff that I did last video. I still have to fix that. Again, I've been working on other stuff, so it's been a little challenge for me. My current goal now is to beat my other channel because I have another channel that blew up for no reason, and I did not mean for it to, and it just kind of did. Which I didn't really want it to, but it did, and now it has 145 subscribers. So let's like beat it, that'd be cool. There is one final thing that I would like to say for this video, and that is that I am announcing a new contest. Now this contest is going to be very special, and it actually has to do with dupe. Now dupe I feel like doesn't get a lot of attention or really anything, so I wanted to kind of change him up a little bit. So currently, he looks like this, and yes, he is glowing. It was very cool. But dupe, I feel like isn't very iconic in this game, and I wanted to kind of differentiate him from doors. So to do that, I decided that I'm going to make different faces for dupe. So here's some I made on screen. However, this is not enough, and I want to add more. And to do that, it would take a lot of work. So instead, I'm just going to have you guys do it. So if you're interested in making some dupe faces for me, consider joining the Discord server because it will be hosted there. There are some rules. They are a little strict, but that's just because they have to fit with this style and also just fit in the game. So yeah. So go check out the Discord server. There should be a event being hosted right now. So have fun with it. Kind of just make whatever. It can be a scary face or kind of be like a silly face maybe even. But just like anything, it has to use dupe's color palette. It has to be 128 by 128 or else it doesn't work. And it has to be on a black background and can't take up the whole thing. So yeah, thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.